This is a video where I wanna like respond to some of the questions you had, but I thought because one aspect of it is actually I think could be interesting for other people as well. So let's see how this goes, and maybe after this, after I've recorded this, I might actually like take a part of it and put it out on YouTube. Because I think it might be interesting for other people. So in case I decide to do that, then I want to welcome everyone else there as well. So this is, I mean, this is funny because this is a very unusual video. Like, I don't have any background, nothing fancy. I am actually doing my laundry right now because today I had such a super busy day and I just got home. It's like 9 o'clock or something. I have to make dinner still, and then but the thing is, like, I wanted to like anyway experiment with a couple new videos. So I thought, why not do one like in a, unprepared manner. So yeah, Victoria, like, because you asked me one thing, basically you asked me a couple of things related to getting started, like, let's say with a new brand in terms of a business. So I mean, like, I'm not like an expert on this. I'm like yourself, just basically starting out, maybe a little bit more experience, but I'm still very much like experimenting. By no, let's say, material measures, I'm like successful yet with this. I'm still very early on. I'm kind of struggling. I just try to make it happen. I'm super motivated and inspired. I think that is like the most important thing. But what comes out of it, I think we'll see like in a couple of years maybe, will be then. You had a couple of questions, and like just before like I speak about these more specific business kind of questions, I just wanted to give you like, I wanted to share like one thing with you, which I think, and please don't mind me doing my laundry here. I know it can be quite overwhelming when you start. Basically, you have to do so many things, decide a brand, you have to build a website, you have to get a logo designed, all these tasks, and each and every single one of them, they can be quite, you can spend a huge amount of time and other resources in any of these. And I think what like I felt when I started is that I felt overwhelmed, and at some point I realized that there's one problem and one challenge that you have to overcome, I think, as soon as possible when you start out like this. And some people are more like, affected by that than others. I was definitely affected, and I'm still, but I'm more aware of it now. It's the risk that you get stuck because you try to do stuff perfect, and you try to spend like a whole lot of time to make it perfect, and then what happens, I feel, is that you can't move at a pace which is required. So you move very slowly because you try to do it perfect, and then I think there's the risk of overwhelm, and you get stuck. So the thing is, I think, which you have to overcome is, and I'm trying to overcome right now, is to overcome imperfection. And there's a guy which I recently watched a video from. He was talking about massive imperfect action. So, and this is like something which many of the successful entrepreneurs talk about. Like, there's a guy you should check out. His name is Gary Vaynerchuk, and he's talking about a lot about this. Like, it's much more important to execute on ideas and to take action than it is to try to perfect your idea. Because I think many people are stuck on the idea level and try to come up with new ideas, try to come up with better ideas, try to perfect their ideas, but they never execute on them, or the execution far is behind the, let's say, the mental thing. And this is, I think, something which is absolutely critical to success, I feel. And this is not from me, this is like what many people are saying. So to really take massive imperfect action, I think, is what is required. And this is where I see also like the connection with yoga again, which, because I try to make yoga a huge part of my life, like yourself. So I try to, whenever try to see the connection here. So perfectionism, basically, I think where it comes from is basically some sort of insecurity that we don't want to allow ourselves to underperform, to fail, whatever. So because we are feared that we're gonna be judged to some extent. This is even like what some of the researchers are saying, and the coaches, productivity coaches, they have actually done research on this, and they say that the fundamental source for procrastination is like a fear of judgment and perfectionism. So when I realized that I'm so much affected by perfectionism in so many areas of my life, I since then made it like one of my core ventures to try to overcome it. And this is something which I want to like encourage you to do. This is also one of the reasons why I started with improvisation theaters, because there it's at the fundamental core. Like I spoke about this in a video. Those of you who speak German can check it out, where I spoke about improvisation theater. One of the main things there is that you try to, that you learn there are no mistakes. So whatever mistake you're doing, you try to do it with, you allow yourself to make mistakes. There's no right or wrong. And so improv theater is a very effective way for me to overcome that tendency towards perfectionism. So I feel that for anyone who is trying to grow, to move on in life, this perfectionist tendency, which I think the majority of people have to various extents, is something that has to be overcome and has to be worked on continuously. And even more so, I feel, for people who want to get started as in some entrepreneurial venture, because you can't do this if you are like a perfectionist and you get stuck with small tasks, and you don't get things done, and you don't take massive action, even if it's imperfect. For anyone who is really interested in growth, I would suggest, work on perfectionism, try to overcome it. And how can you do that? You can do that if you intentionally think about taking imperfect action in certain areas of your life. Intentionally don't do stuff to the best you can. This might contradict to some other idea that you always want to do your best. That's fine, but this is something which you do consciously. So it's not that you underperform because you're lazy. No, because you consciously decide that you want to break that particular limitation, and you do that by doing something which is not perfect. Feel the negativity which might come up, like the sense of insecurity, whatever. See, right now I'm doing this video, and basically it's completely like kind of improvised, messed up. I mean, I'm doing my laundry here. I hope you guys understand and you don't mind. Victoria, I hope you don't mind. So even for me, this is like itself a demonstration of what I'm trying to say here, that you have to think about how you can implement this in your life, in what areas. So an example from me is also like when I do these videos, I can try to make them super perfect, set up the perfect lighting and everything. I could even like script the whole video to try to make my speech perfect. But it would of course take me like a whole day to do a video like that, and then at the end of it, it probably would mean that I could do much less videos. And if I do much less, it also means you learn much slower, because I feel that the sheer quantity of action is much more relevant or determinant for how much and fast we grow and learn than if we do very little action but perfectly. This is something I put on my wall after I saw this guy talk about this. Massive imperfect action, something I try to overcome. So yeah, I mean, really, this is again for people who specifically are interested in entrepreneurship. I feel it's not from me. You can definitely check out Gary Vaynerchuk. Okay, his YouTube channel. He's like massive on this. He knows much more about entrepreneurship. He's super successful. But even for all of you who are just interested in your growth, I feel this is like a huge opportunity for you to grow by trying to overcome this need to get confirmation or to avoid judgment from others by delivering something perfect. I feel like we should stretch ourselves. We should step out of our comfort zone by putting us intentionally in this bad spot where we deliver something which is not perfect, maybe intentionally make some mistake. Like right now, I do this completely imperfect video, completely improvised. I don't even know if I have like a clear structure in this, if like this is all just randomly pouring out. I'm doing my laundry. I look a little messy and all of that. So this is for myself, a demonstration of what I'm talking about here. Yeah, maybe a lot of you, like I'll share much more of this maybe in the future. Let's see. Alright, so in case I put this up, actually, I want to say goodbye to all of you guys. And thanks for watching again. Leave a thumbs up if you enjoyed this, and also I would be really interested in hearing like how you feel about this imperfection, perfectionism, whatever. Yes, guys, I would look forward to seeing you again next week. If you want to learn about any new videos that come up here every single week, you can definitely consider to subscribing to my channel. So you'll see a link up here. You can just click on it and subscribe. Also check out my other videos here, and I hope to see you guys again soon. Bye guys.